Okay. So here's where things get interesting for me. All right, because what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about Drum Island. So Drum Island is it's really up there. It's really up there as kind of like as good as One Piece can get in a lot of regards. It's really heartfelt. It's really impactful. Honestly, there's some moments of it I can think about and I can start crying if I want to. I can get there with Drum Island. It's got real emotional depth. It still has like that quirky humor and that exciting action, and you've got introduction of a bunch of new characters, compelling backstory. You've got something on my tongue. You got the growing stakes of like on the Straw Hat crew, you know, needing the Doctor, all this sort of thing. It focuses on, you know, like when One Piece arcs are good, there's kind of like really key thematic things which are going on, right? Which are some of those like universal things of One Piece, right? So here, just like you know that just like classic sort of like shonen like perseverance, sacrifice, healing. Yeah. So and another highlight of this is Tony Chopper, who's introduced here now. This is where we start getting into things for me, because honestly, and this is going to be kind of an issue with One Piece as we keep talking through these. There's too many members of the crew. Honestly, this initial crew which we have so far of although I will say my favorite Straw hasn't joined the crew yet, okay? But this initial, crew we have of like Luffy, Nami, Usopp, Zara, I missed out Zara, who's the second crew member there, and Sanji. Really, in terms of like focus, I think it should have stopped there, if I'm being real, because every arc we're introducing a bunch of new characters and we're exploring them, we're messing around with them, and we're trying to service the crew we're coming in with, and the crew we're coming in with is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think that 5 which we had would have been a really appropriate limit. Although I will say there's one other crewmate who is incredibly important to me. Probably my favorite character in all of One Piece, who we haven't met yet. So we will get to we'll get to her later. so that's who that is. But okay, so but the thing is even these crewmates, when we introduce them, their backstories are incredible. And Chopper's is kind of, honestly, it's sort of like as good as it gets. It's like getting close up there to sort of like Arlong Park, like Nami levels for me. He's got this like tragic past. He's got this big heart. He completely steals the show in this arc. I'm deeply moved by his backstory, his relationship with Dr. Hilulok, and the lessons of like hope and sacrifice that shape his character and shape his being. Unfortunately, I don't really think that is like that is like consistently continued with Chopper, and Chopper kind of devolves into like Pikachuification and turns into a marketable plushie. But how he's but that's later and this is now. So how he's presented here, where like, his mentor, the Doctor, is like sacrificing himself with like dignity and a smile. It's just like, it's so like poignant, and it makes and that makes like Chopper's decision to join the Straw Hats like even more satisfying, right? His insecurities and his self-doubts being like helped overcame by Luffy's like just like acceptance that he has of just like this like just simple profound like you're in, like I see you, you're with me, you're one of my guys. It really like emphasizes again one of these just like ongoing like larger things of One Piece, which is belonging and acceptance. So I don't know, like that stuff's just like so good. Dr. Koreha, she's also like so eccentric, like sharp-tongued, no nonsense attitude. She's incredible. Which it like contrasts really well with like how sort of like prickly she is with her like deep care for Chopper, and she serves as like the mentor, the mother figure to Chopper, like trying to like help him find his place in the world before he's actually like going off and do that on his own. Which again, I think because of so many crewmates, I don't think the rest of the story does serve Chopper, which is like kind of my reason of why like I think that, and maybe I'll talk about this as a wider. I mean, this will be consistent from as we talk about through arcs, but maybe I'll do some sort of like standalone sort of exploration of this idea. But I think there's way too many Straw Hats, and so Chopper gets a lot of attention here and a lot to do, but like after this, it's like when does he get that kind of attention again? Kind of never. When he's even consistent with what's happening here, also sort of kind of never. So, but again, it's not talking about this arc. For the stuff of this arc, and him with like Kureha and like her wisdom and unconventional like methods, like add this cool little sort of layer and warmth and humor and whatever. But it's all about Chopper's backstory here, right? It's one of the most emotional in the series. Like, the philosophy that a person's only truly dead when they're forgotten, it, like, resonates deeply with me. It adds, like, a layer of poignancy to the story. The flashbacks blend, like, of heartbreak and hope, makes Chopper's, like, eventual decision to join the crew just, like, more impactful, because One Piece kind of does the kind of tease of that always, of, like, will they, won't they join the crew. The climb up Drum Rock, is a movement that like stands out for me. It's a testament to like Luffy's willpower and the love of the crew, the sheer physicality of the scene compared with like the harsh environment, and Luffy's refusal to give up makes it visually and emotionally powerful. I really, really like that. The cherry blossom scene, right at the end of the arc, the dream of seeing the cherry blossoms bloom on Drum Island is beautifully realized through like Kureha's ingenuity. And it creates this like breathtaking and symbolic moment of like healing, of hope. It's really moving, man. It encapsulates the arc themes really, really, really well. And that's it. This is an arc that has a lot of those heavier moments, and it balances those really well with the humor, like One Piece like does well, because you've got kind of like Wapal bumbling around with his antics. You've got like Kureha's eccentric behavior. You got the Straw Hats like reaction to all these like bizarre people, especially the more like straight man characters of the crew, like reacting to all these sort of like eccentric characters and bizarre inhabitants of the island. It keeps it light, but it doesn't really, it's not enough to like overcome or undermine even the emotional weight of going on. Chopper's endeared, like besides all of those other stuff, by his like kind of awkward interactions with like Luffy and Usopp. And especially his sort of like reactions to praise, which is kind of an ongoing thing that they do with him. It just makes him a little bit more charming. The themes of like healing, I really enjoy. Like and like bringing Chopper as like another one who's like, he's like an outcast to like a valued member of the Straw Hat crews, and he's like a family, self-acceptance, finding one's place in the world. Like I'm a sucker for all that. Leaning into like the importance of like hope and leaving a lasting positive impact. It aligns with the broader themes of like One Piece and what this like whole thing's trying to do. So Drum Island for me, I love it. I think it's really like high up there. It's just like great One Piece. It's showing some of the stuff that the series is the best to offer. The tragic bath story, the cherry blossom finale. It's like, oh, mwah. Just my issue is like with One Piece, and then this is going beyond this arc. You do these beautiful things and you give all these characters loads of time, but then that time is not consistently given to them throughout the series. So I could have stopped here with the crew. I would have maybe done something a little bit different, and maybe I'll get to that point as we meet other characters down the line, but I would have essentially stopped the crew at 5. Capped it at 5. Maybe we knock some out and bring someone in or whatever, but capping it at 5, at least for like the regular sort of like land crew of those who are like going out. Obviously the Star Trek Enterprise is a lot bigger, right? But out of your actual like team who gets sent out, I would have kept it at the 5, because it's way too many. It's really way too many, and it causes problems and dragging and characters becoming just like stagnant for really, really long periods of time. But we will approach that as we approach that, because today we're talking about Drum Island is it. If you want to talk about One Piece with me, please do. I'm coming back every day, and we're talking through every single arc. So that's going to take us a few more weeks to do still. Bye.